Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Little nice morning. Birds are out in full force, so, pardon some of the background noise. But anyway, I'm not an expert on the Bible, but I wanted to read a particular book and verse that is Matthew 21, 12-13. Some of you might know this already from the New Testament. Jesus entered the temple and began to drive out all the people buying and selling animals for sacrifice. He knocked over the tables of the money chargers and the chairs of those selling doves. And he said to them, "These scriptures declare, my temple will be called a house of prayer, but you have turned it into a den of thieves." I'm sure plenty of you who are well versed in the Bible pretty much know that and understand why he was so frustrated, and yet history repeats itself. Now, we come to the present day, just a few days before Easter, and you guessed it, you now have already heard of it. Donald Trump is selling Bibles of his own for $60 a pop. And it's not just the Bible. I don't know the exact contents. I just saw the ad briefly and just kind of shook my head and rolled my eyes. But it has a copy of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the National Anthem, I think. There might be some other stuff there too. I think he calls it like the God Bless America Bible by Trump or something like that. Is it the same exact Bible we're all used to reading and some of you out there are quoting? Maybe not, so I would be a little wary about that. I don't know. To me, most religious people I would imagine would look at this and think it's sacrilegious. I have no way of knowing for sure, but I'm willing to bet that if Jesus came onto a temple and saw tables of these ridiculous Bibles with all this other stuff that's not even relevant to religion, he would start knocking over those tables as well. Why do I bring this up? Because yet again, it's another grift, and it's another thing he's using to raise money to pay for legal fees and also just to fill his own pockets. Now, obviously, to the MAGA cult, they're going to buy into this. I mean, I hate to admit it, but there'll probably be enough of you that'll buy these Bibles and make it worth his while. To which he'll say, wow, I grifted them yet again, as if the NFTs weren't enough, you didn't learn your lesson there. Those turned out to be worthless. The sneakers, that also turned out to be worthless. There was something else, I'm drawing a blank. But now the Bibles, because, if you can't exploit people with lies and trying to overturn elections and wanting to shred the Constitution, why not just sell it to them, Because Trump just really cares about the Bible. That's the one when asked about it, he says, well, I can't talk about the Bible because, it's really very sacred to him. He just doesn't want to get into it. He doesn't want to get into it. Like, you can't spot the lie right there. You can't spot the grift right there. Let me break it down for you real simple, and I'll do it in a way so it's easy to understand. Me and Kim Kardashian, we've been dating for the past 6 years, and let me tell you something, it is awesome. The sex is hot. I would show you pictures and everything, but, our relationship is pretty personal. It's very sacred to us. It's not something we want to, put out there to the press and everyone to see. Again, just trust me, it's the truth. But, I know you may have doubts, and you want to see pictures. You want to see something to prove it, but, it's really very sacred to us, so try and respect our privacy, please. If you believe that one, I'll tell you another. Come to my house. I got a nice bridge to sell you. I mean, I don't understand why some of you out there choose to fall for these grifts. I really don't. I don't understand why people who claim to be so evangelical, especially like the famous ones who are worth billions, want to warm up to this guy who's like a serial adulterer, has cheated on all of his wives, has scammed people, has done a lot of things to hurt people. It would be easier for me to tell you which of the 10 Commandments he hasn't violated. But, hey, other than that, this guy's your person. This guy's your go-to guy. And yet, you can't see through it that this is yet again another grift. Now, like I said before to the MAGA cult, this is all just going to fall on deaf ears. It really is. They're not going to accept what I'm saying, and they're just going to keep worshiping it. So I'm hoping to some of the other voters out there that are on the fence, that might be a little uncertain, that they'll look at this and they'll say, yeah, he brings up a good point. This is clearly a grift, and this is not a former president that I want to see back in the White House again. Am I being disrespectful to religion? No. Okay. if you decide to buy these Bibles, that's your choice. I don't see any problem, as I've talked about before. I believe in freedom of religion, and I got nothing wrong with other people's faith. In fact, if you're one that goes to church that really does read the Bible and accepts the verses and believes in the teachings of God and Jesus Christ, I'd say that's actually a pretty good sign of character. But to buy into this thing, it just seems hypocritical. And if you think I'm wrong, let me put it to you in a different way. For those of you on the right, especially the MAGA crowd, what if Joe Biden did this instead? What if these weren't? If he came out with these Biden Bibles with all this stuff about the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and all this other stuff for only $60, would you guys look at it and say, yeah, that's a good buy, I'm going to do that? Or would you and plenty of people on Fox be having an absolute meltdown, calling this sacrilegious, calling this hypocritical, or saying Biden's just using this to, try and win you guys over with religion? You see the difference now? Now do you see the grift in it all? I mean, hey, for Don, why stop there? Why charge him 60? Why not go for an even 100? Next, you'll have Trump holy water. You can sprinkle it around on yourself and your friends and bless them all with the love of God, and all in the name of Donald Trump. Hey, and for $1,000, Donald might take you on a flight into his Trump airline so he can take you high into the sky so you can feel closer to God. I'm not trying to mock people's religions. I'm not trying to make a joke out of this. I'm trying to really illustrate just how much of a grift this is, and that if you just look at it from a logical point of view, you really see it is for what it is. You'll see Don for nothing more than just a liar and a person who really doesn't care about the Bible or the Constitution. He doesn't know anything about them. His 2 Corinthians, the Constitution, maybe the First and Second, and definitely the Fifth Amendment. But if you asked him all about the other amendments, how many amendments there are, and he wouldn't be able to answer. That's a simple truth. So I don't know why it's so difficult for some of you to see, but like I said, when you take a step back and you look at it as a whole, it's pretty obvious that you're just being played. And for all these crooked politicians that suck up to him, that at one point years ago and even after January 6th said, oh, this was bad, Donald Trump's no good for us, people like Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, and Mitch McConnell, well, here's what I'll tell you. As you betrayed yourselves, your integrity, your party, as well as your country, for that betrayal, I'll tell you what you're not going to get. When Joe Biden defeats Trump in 2024, and or if he goes to jail as well, that would be a true blessing. You're not going to get your 30 pieces of silver. Because in case you haven't noticed, Donald Trump is the type of person who doesn't pay his debts or pay the money to the people that he says is going to go to. You're not going to get your 30 pieces of silver, all you Judases out there. But hey, by all means, keep sucking up to him. And when he throws you under the bus, somehow saying, I told you so, just wouldn't be enough. So, a $60 Bible. Basic economics. You can go to, you can find Bibles online that are pretty inexpensive. Used bookstores have them. They don't cost that much. The Constitution, you can get like a pocket version for only a few bucks. Some places have them for free. Same thing with the National Anthem and the Declaration of Independence. So before you spend $60, maybe you want to stop and think about some basic economics. Just saying. Anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you understand.